I want to talk to you about African proverbs, wisdom from the ancestors on finding peace and joy in today's world. Africa is the birthplace of the human race, once great civilizations, and a place where knowledge, art, music, democracy, culture, trade, agriculture, and wisdom first flourished. Her ancient proverbs and wisdom are even richer than the treasures found in her ancient crypts, filled with enduring life lessons and pearls of wisdom, which have universal application. But they are not well known. And that is why I have published a book of African proverbs and ancient wisdom collected from all over the African continent. Here is the book. Life is God's best gift. Wisdom from the ancestors on finding peace and joy in today's world. It was published by Harper. Recently, the book won the Nautilas Award, and I was humbled and touched by that recognition. It has also garnered some rave reviews. Here is how Eric Page of the New York Times describes it. Rich with reflections on life, love, and community, this extraordinary, timeless collection of proverbs inspires, comforts, and delights the soul. And Nikki Giovanni calls it a well-designed and beautiful book. Again, here is the book, and it's available on HarperCollins website. It's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and anywhere where books are sold. I want to share these priceless proverbs from Africa with you and enrich your life. And since Africa is the cradle of humanity, this wisdom belongs to us all. I want to make it accessible to everyone. Let us create a movement to popularize African proverbs and ancient wisdom that is still relevant today. I have created a website to serve as a home for our movement at africansoulgems.com. Post a proverb along with a brief life lesson. Tell us how you apply the proverbs and their lessons in your life and relationships. Post your stories at africansoulgems.com. Together, we can create a global movement that enriches lives through these inspirational African gems of wisdom. They are African soul gems to nourish your soul. African proverbs have taken me on a lifelong journey. I discovered the power of proverbs as a child. You see, I was raised by my grandparents. Among my people, it is customary for a child to live with aging grandparents and to run their errands, perform minor chores, and do other tasks to help them age gracefully. It was a position of privilege and honor that opened a whole new world to me. In Africa, we have a saying that one who is raised by grandparents knows deep culture. Grandparents are the repositories of culture and history. Storytelling in Africa is a form of oral tradition that allows one generation to pass on knowledge and wisdom to the next generation. And I spent my evenings around the fire listening to them tell me stories. I was mesmerized by the profound history, rich insight, and depth of knowledge my elders had to share. I was especially intrigued by the Proverbs. They were succinct and loaded. They reminded me of an onion. Each proverb was packed with layers of profound understanding. I could just keep peeling away at each one and come to a higher and higher level of comprehension. Collectively, the Proverbs helped me appreciate where I came from, create a professionally rewarding life, bond with my community, and give back to society. My fascination with the Proverbs took me on a journey of discovery, gathering proverbs from all over Africa as I wanted to help others to live a satisfying life. I have collected thousands of proverbs over the years, and I'm constantly in awe of their power to focus my attention on what is important in life. My book, Life is God's Best Gift, is the result of my work and my gift to you. Ancient wisdom meant to be shared. In traditional African societies, fire was produced from a special wood or stone, and community members could take it from anyone who had it. I am passing along this flame of wisdom to you. I will now tell you how I have applied the Proverbs in my life, using a few Proverbs as examples. Here is one from Egypt. Do a good deed and then throw it into the sea. There is a similar proverb in Swahili that is popular in East Africa. Tenda wema, nenda zako. Baraka zitakufuata. A loose English translation would be, do good and go your way. Blessings will follow you. And here is an insight or an application of that proverb. Friday the 13th is supposed to be an unlucky day. I had no great expectations when Friday, November 13, 2020 arrived. I went to a bank on campus to transact some business. It was a cold day, and I encountered a very friendly lady at the bank. She was very helpful. At about 11 a.m., I left the bank and walked one floor upstairs to a local cafe for a cup of coffee. As I was walking in, I noticed a lady outside the cafe sitting behind a display table that had brochures and other handouts. I did not say anything. At the coffee shop, I announced that I thought I was due for my free cup of coffee. According to their rewards program, you get free coffee after you have purchased 50 cups over time. Sure enough, I was due for one. I grabbed my coffee and walked out. Again, I noticed the same lady sitting behind the display table. She seemed to be feeling the cold, so I approached her and offered to buy her a warm cup of coffee. She declined. I told her that it was cold and that I had not paid for my coffee, so I still had some money with me and I would love to buy her some coffee. Sure, she said. What do you want? I asked. Coffee latte vanilla, she said. I put my coffee on her table and headed back to the cafe. I ordered coffee latte vanilla and brought it to her. I grabbed my coffee and started walking away. Then I remembered I hadn't even asked her what she was displaying at the table. I am here to promote world kindness. Today is World Kindness Day, she said. You understand the irony of what you have just said? I asked. Yes, because I have just experienced a random act of kindness, she said. I was dazed. I walked away to process what had just happened. I had never heard of World Kindness Day in my life. Then I remembered something else, so I walked back. What is your name? I asked. I'm Holly, she said. Have a good day, Holly, I said as I left. I am still processing what happened that day and what it all means. To me, it means do good always and expect nothing in return. Don't even wait to be thanked. Here is another proverb. If you think you're too small to make a difference, you haven't spent a night with a mosquito. This is a proverb from Botswana and Swaziland. And here is an insight. Shining Hope for Communities, or SHOFCO, is the 2018 winner of the Conrad Hilton Award, which is considered the Nobel Prize of Humanitarian Honors and comes with a $2 million pass. This mosquito of a community organization now occupies a place of honor in the pantheon of charity giants such as Doctors Without Borders, SOS Children's Villages, Operation Smile, PATH, Help Age International, and AMREF, among others, that have won this prestigious award established by Conrad Hilton, the founder of the Hilton hotel chains. And Hollywood has taken notice too. A movie, Find Me Unafraid, based on the New York Times best-selling book authored by the couple behind SHOFCO, is in the works. SHOFCO founder Kennedy Odende started life as a mosquito. The oldest of 8 children, Kennedy became a street child at the age of 10, foraging for food in Kibera, the largest urban slum in Africa, located in Nairobi, Kenya, where his family lived. By 2004, he was working at a factory where he earned $1 a day. Inspired by the transformation and nonviolence principles of Martin Luther King Jr., he believed the people of Kibera had the capacity to solve their own challenges, and he was willing to lead the way. He saved 20 cents a day from his meager earnings and eventually bought a soccer ball to start SHOFCO. Today, the organization provides transformational community-led services, including schools, clean water, and health clinics that directly impacts 220,000 people and over 800,000 indirectly. Chofco co-founder Jessica Posner-Odende is a Denver, Colorado native who arrived in Kibera one day on a study abroad program to work as a volunteer, an adventure that evolved into an unlikely love story and marriage to Odende, a story that will soon be in movie theaters. Through his work of transforming lives, Odende has earned worldwide recognition. He is a member of the Clinton Global Initiative, a much sought after speaker, and his work has been featured in the New York Times and NBC, and he appears regularly in United Nations forums. The mosquito that foraged for food as a child is now a global figure whose work and audacity is transforming lives. No one is too small to make a difference. If you think you're too small to make a difference, you haven't spent a night with a mosquito. Here's another one. When you row another person across the river, you get there yourself. It's a proverb from Tanzania. The streets of Nairobi, Kenya are often the scenes of horrendous traffic jams that usually bring traffic to a crawl. But miracles happen in congested settings too. The year was 2016. A young street boy named John Thuo was moving from car to car, begging for money. After his mother died, John ran away from home to escape the beatings from his cruel father. Out here in the congested streets of this overcrowded city, he was at the mercy of the vagaries of nature and suspicious citizens who often regard street kids as thieves. As John approached a lady driver seated in a nearby car, he saw a strange sight. The woman was hooked up to tubes and was breathing oxygen from a tank. Her name was Gladys Kamande, and she explained to John that her lungs were not working well and she had to carry an oxygen tank at all times. John was shocked. He could not believe that there was someone in the world who was worse off than he was. He started to cry and offered the lady the few pennies he had collected that day. What John did not know was that Gladys was the victim of horrendous domestic violence that had left her partially blind, led to several miscarriages, and left her unable to breathe on her own. She was on her way to a hospital appointment. Her family was struggling to raise $54,000 needed for specialized treatment abroad. John reached out and held her hand through the open window. A passerby captured the tender moments on camera and uploaded the pictures online along with their story. Within days, the incident went viral and transformed their lives forever. Thousands of online donations poured in, And soon, complete strangers raised $80,000, enabling Gladys to travel to India for medical treatment. A woman named Nisi Wambogo opened her home to John, became his adoptive mother, and enrolled him in school. The kindness and compassion that John had extended to a stranger came back to him 100-fold, thus changing his life forever. What we give to the world is what we receive in return. When you row another person across the river, you get there yourself. Here's my last one. Wherever a man goes to dwell, his character goes with him. It's a proverb from Equatorial Guinea. I once heard a pastor tell this story about a boy and his mother. It was a cold morning as a mother drove her son to school. She saw another boy walking to school and she stopped. Her son recognized the boy. It was John, a kid from the neighborhood. Why are you stopping? He can get to school by himself. After all, it's not all that cold, her son protested. The mother ignored her son's advice and invited John to hop right in. In the car, her son completely ignored the boy. He was not from his circle of friends. When they got to school, her son jumped out and walked as far ahead of John as possible so he didn't have to talk to him. When he got home in the evening, there was a letter waiting for him at the table. He knew he was in trouble. What is it about you that makes you think you're more special than John? I want you to go and apologize to him first thing in school tomorrow. The insight here is that getting to the zone of exclusivity requires so little of us. Welcoming strangers requires so much more and tests our core and our character. Please go to africansoulgems.com and share a proverb. Tell us how you apply it in your life. Let's start a movement to make sure African proverbs are known all over the world. This wisdom belongs to all of us, regardless of your race, heritage, gender, nationality, religion, etc. Because Africa is the birthplace of the human race. Again, here is the book that started all this. African proverbs speak a lot about relationships, personal character, integrity, and caring about others. Our stories start and end the same way, with birth and death. It is what you do in between that sets you apart. Let your actions be the gallows that etch your name in eternal memory. I will leave you with a beautiful message from a famous man who said, "Rivers do not drink their own water. Trees do not eat their own fruit. The sun does not shine on itself, and flowers do not spread their fragrance. for themselves. Living for others is a rule of nature. We are all born to help each other. No matter how difficult it is, life is good when you are happy, but much better when others are happy because of you. Share a proverb and let us know how this ancient wisdom is shining light on your path in your personal life, in your relationships, in your business, and in your professional life. Do that at africansoulgems.com. You can also spread the word about the website and the book. African Proverbs can make the world a better place. Thank you.